Hey witches, mystics, manifestors, and people who just like tarot. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ray Luna. For today's pick a card reading, we are looking at why do people love you? So for group number 1 here, we have Three of Swords with this skeleton stylized deck and black Tourmaline. For group number 2, we have the Three of Swords again, but this is the vintage style tarot deck and Carnelian. And for group number 3, we have the Three of Swords again, but this is the pink tarot deck we are using, and then rose quartz. So take your time and choose what deck is calling out to you the most, what crystal you like the most, and when you're ready, head to the description or comment section to click on the correlating timestamp to receive your reading. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this reading. Hey group number 1, welcome to your reading. So you chose the skeleton style deck. We have the Three of Swords, black Tourmaline, and then we have Queen of Wands, the Tower, Six of Pentacles, and Eight of Wands. So the first thing I see for why people love you is with the Queen of Wands. This is describing someone who has a lot of balance in life. So you are not someone that people feel is extreme. So you can relate to many people, you connect to many people. Someone can be extreme themselves and connect with you because of that balance. So you are someone many people feel like they can say hi to you, they can talk to you, and you just know how to respond well to many different types of people. You could be skilled at speaking to your audience, right? So that can be related to like marketing terms, right? So like if you're going to write something, you want to make sure you're writing something for the audience who is reading it, right? So you know how to say the right words to the right people. And you have that skill set which helps you in life. And with the Queen of Wands, I think of someone who is charming, who is persuasive in some way. So that makes sense for that to appear with this card. I also see too, this is being someone who is able to meet your own needs, your own wants, but you're also able to care for other people, right? So you're not someone who has success but tells other people to hit the road, right? You are someone who uses your success to celebrate others as well. And we see that with the Six of Pentacles, generosity in some way. So you might have had to be the Queen of Wands by doing things yourself, having to meet your own needs because of lack of support or not having the right support at the right time. So you might have had to provide for yourself, and that might have been difficult or tough. But people really love this about you because it's like they see how you're really talented and you're able to do so much on your own. So they are inspired by you. They want to learn from you. Kind of like how you can be seen as a mentor in some way, a teacher. I also feel like you're someone, you don't pull the ladder up from behind you. You might have had a difficult time, but you don't make other people suffer with trying to find knowledge, trying to find the right thing to do. You just help people find that success how you found success. You didn't have that support, so now you're wanting to help other people have that support if they don't, right? You're willing to do for others what could not be provided to you. So you might have had to struggle for a while by yourself in some way, which made you independent. But now that you're there, you're having some sort of accomplishment, achievement, feeling proud of yourself, you're willing to be generous and give love to other people, give success to other people so they don't feel alone or struggle alone with trying to get to a higher point. So people really love this and respect this about you. And with the Tower, the Eight of Wands, both of these cards talk about being fast, something being speedy in some way. So you could be fast as in people really love how you respond to them fast, right? You could respond to text messages fast. You could offer support fast. You could be executing projects or meeting deadlines really fast. So your coworkers, your friends, your family, they know they can count on you because you're always doing things instantly. They don't have to push you. People don't have to remind you. You are a self-starter. You take charge and get things done. So you don't waste no time, right? You could care a lot about being quick because you don't want to waste any more time. You want to get things done a certain way. But people will always respect this about you because you're helping them as well. If someone doesn't have to keep messaging you like, hey, did you pay me back that $5 you borrowed? Like, you already sent it to them. You already Venmo'd them that money or paid them back in person, right? So people don't have to do that with you. They know you can follow through on promises, you're reliable, and you're generous. Another thing I see here is with the Queen of Wands and the Tower, you could shake up people's viewpoints about themselves. So you could make people think about a different perspective. So you're not someone who just agrees with other people to get along. You have that confidence to stand in your own thoughts, your own mind, right? Not just agreeing with something to agree and make everything go smoothly. You will disagree with someone if you really feel like what they're doing is wrong, it's going to hurt them. So for your circle of people, people really like how you hold them accountable, you call them out, you give them their tower moment where they have to self-reflect and realize, okay, do I have to change what I'm doing? Is something I'm doing giving me a tower moment? Do I have to fix that? So people also like how you call out others, or you're able to hold people accountable in some way, and people, they like that. So you could be calling out other people outside of your group of friends or family, and everyone's like, yeah, that's a fair point. I agree with you. They didn't think about that. Or you're calling out people directly about something that's hurting them, and then they're able to fix that to improve their life. So they're not doing this mistake or this bad habit or behavior they don't realize they have. Okay? So I'm going to pull some more cards and see what else comes through. Okay, with these cards here, we have balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces, work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So this makes me think of that balance I talked about, not only because we see the balance here and it says that this is like two water signs, right? Pisces and Scorpio. But I feel like Pisces is kind of softer and Scorpio is a little bit more tough. Okay? So when you're having both of these energies appear, of course, these signs could be relevant to your big three, your rising, sun, moon. But I also see this as just describing energy, your energy. So there could be times where you know how to be soft and be a little bit more relaxed. And then there's times you know when to bring out that stinger and attack, be intense, be rough with whatever the situation requires. So people might really like this about you because it's like you know how to handle any and all situations. You look at a situation and decide, okay, how do I have to be today? Do I have to approach this in a gentle way, or do I have to approach this in an intense way, right? So people really like how you have this dual nature about you. It's kind of like a rose in a way. A rose is known to be really beautiful to look at, but if you touch it with its thorns, you could prick yourself, you could hurt yourself. So you kind of have that rose energy. Okay, you're like, if you were a flower, you would be a rose. So you have that energy too of being maybe seductive, right? Being intense, being charming, being romantic too with Pisces. So all of these traits really make you like lure people in. It gives you that energy of like people want to talk to you because they find you attractive. People don't know if they're going to get this more softer side of you or this more intense side. So people might like that balance and look forward to that when they talk to you. I also feel like people like how you could probably talk about like very serious stuff that's grounded in like logic, reality, right? Like you can talk about like math, you can talk about like world events, like something that's happening in reality, but then you also can talk about maybe like conspiracy theories and stuff that might be a little out there, something that might be considered like woo-woo, or is that really true? That's crazy, right? Like you can talk about different subjects like that too, so people might appreciate you, because it's like sometimes we have like friends or people we can only talk about like certain subjects with, right? Because they don't understand the other stuff, or they don't know about it, they don't care. Some people are way more practical, and some people are more like fantasy based, right? Like only liking the stuff that might not seem as realistic. But you're someone, you can dabble in both of those areas, so it makes it more easy, once again, for people to talk to you or interact with you. Okay, and then we have Psalm Book, Rejoicing Faith, Black Coffee, Shadow Work, Awakening. So people also really love how you either give them faith, as I said earlier, inspiring people, but this also could be you have faith. So people could really like how you're optimistic, right? Like you could be the person encouraging a team to continue working after you have a bad report or things aren't going well, or you could encourage your friends to continuing to go after their goal after they failed their exam, or they just failed something and they don't feel like they can try again, and you encourage them to keep going. You encourage people with your words, your actions, so you give people faith, and people are also impressed by your own faith. Like you could do this for yourself. If you fail something, you're not thinking like, oh my God, it's over, what can I do? You're thinking, okay, how can I try this again and make it be better the next time? So people also really like your faith. This also could be talking about your spirituality, your religion, because we have spirituality here, and this is like related to religion, right? So you could be doing some sort of spiritual practice or religious practice that people also really think is interesting, or maybe you help people learn how to do a certain ritual related to spirituality or the religion you practice, and it has helped them. It has given them more faith. So that is also something people appreciate, your knowledge about spirituality, faith. I also see here with the black coffee, you guys could be like black coffee in a way. So you could wake people up. As I said earlier, that reality check, you call people out, you hold them accountable. So once again, that wake up call message is coming through. But also people could be really loving how you did the work, right? Shadow work. So you could be someone like, even if you had difficulty, you had like traumas or whatever, right? Like you could be dealing with that stuff. Everyone has stuff like that, but you don't put it on other people, right? So if someone cheated on you in a past relationship, you don't then act in a way where it's like you're holding someone else accountable for that, even though they didn't cheat on you, right? Like you don't put something you experienced onto other people who have nothing to do with that. You work through that so it's not an issue, or you have those feelings, but you don't handle it in a way where it's difficult for the other people. You handle it in a way that's like healthy, it's mature. So people also appreciate how you have done the work, because a lot of people, they don't do that and they stay stuck, or they don't do that and they keep making the same mistakes again. But you don't do that. You fix the problem. You look at it head on. I also think you help your friends, family, people who are close to you. You probably help other people learn how to do shadow work and work through their issues. Some of you guys could be doing like spiritual work, religious work, like you could be a guide in some way, right? Sometimes there's people who are life coaches. You could be someone who does something like that, and your work is really healing for people. It changes their life. It helps them kind of refresh things, like how caffeine does, right? You could help people refresh their life and change things drastically, and people love that as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull some charms and get a closing out message for you guys. Okay, so we have a triangle here. So that's like three sides of something. So you could be someone who looks at things from many different perspectives. You believe in nuance. Once again, that not being extreme, being very balanced, coming through once again. I also think of a triangle as like pyramids, like having higher knowledge, being advanced in like spirituality, spiritual practices. So people really like to talk to you about things that could be considered like esoteric or kind of knowledge outside of like everyday, day-to-day things. We have, it looks like, a wrench of some kind. So yeah, you're a fixer. You solve the problems. You're like a handyman who has a leak under the sink. You don't call someone, you fix that yourself. You know how to do it, so why not? People could call on you for those skills in their own life because they might not know, and you're willing to help. And then we have this steering wheel. It kind of makes me think of, you see those movies with pirates, they're steering the ship. So you could like to steer your own ship. You're really independent, strong-minded, strong-willed. I keep feeling these messages of you being a teacher, a guide in some way, and you help other people when they can't guide themselves. And then we have, look, a rose. And I said you guys are like a rose. If you were a flower, you'd be a rose. And here we have a rose charm. So definitely you're like beautiful and dangerous, okay? You're a threat in the sense that you have the brain, the looks, and the drive, okay? How can anyone compete with that? So people really love how you're kind of like a triple threat, right? You have multiple things about you that are stunning, talented, right? Effortless. So people really like you because they feel like you have so much to give, you have so much to offer, and you're really kind about it too. You don't have like an ego. You're not mean to people thinking, oh, I'm better than all you. You're really down to earth as well, even though you have all this greatness. So that was your reading group number 1. That is why people love you. Like the video, hit that hype button, which is new. Apparently it boosts the video. Subscribe. And I hope this reading has helped you in some way. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. So you chose this vintage style tarot deck, Carnelian, and then we have the Lovers, Strength, 10 of Swords, and 8 of Swords. So what I first see here for why people love you is I feel like you're a lover at heart, right? With the Lovers card. And this is funny because I was actually going to use the Lovers instead of the 3 of Swords for all the piles for the selection, but because of YouTube and the imagery here, I didn't because they're strict, okay? But this makes me laugh because it's like, even though I couldn't use that card, it came through anyway to appear for the rest of your reading. So you are really someone who is just a lover, okay? You love love. People could really like you as well because you're always seeing the positive in things. You're always looking for a positive experience. And you could be someone who loves to shower people with compliments, gifts, right? You're always trying to find the love, the positivity in a situation. So people love how you love love and you love life and you're optimistic. I also think as well, you could be someone who in your romantic relationships, people see how much you love and care about them, so they could appreciate that. This is especially true if you're in a long-term relationship or you're married. This person, your partner, could be in love with how they love you. So those messages are coming through, but then we have the Strength card. So you are someone too, you have a lot of power. You could have been through a lot, and people see how you, this person who seems to be so kind, so joyous, optimistic, if they knew your past here and what you have overcame, they would be shocked and surprised because if someone went through all this difficulty, shouldn't they be mean? Shouldn't they be not believing in good things? But you're not like that at all. So you could surprise people with what you have been through. So people could love how you have this ambition to continue on. People could love how you persevere. I also feel here too, for some of you, you could be physically strong, right? You could be doing these routines where you're lifting up heavy weights. You could be doing a lot for your body. People could love your physique, right? So not only your mental strength, but your physical strength. People could be impressed by your body, the way you can exercise, the way you're able to pick heavy things up, right? Maybe you're the friend people call when they want to move, okay? Because they know you can lift really well. I also see too, with the 10 of Swords, that is being able to recover from rock bottom. So you could have been someone, as many of you watching have different situations, you could have went from, not having a place to live, right? To living in a really big house. You could have went from having addictions to now being sober, right? So people also love how you have like a comeback story, right? You're like the underdog. You came back from a really difficult situation. So people are also impressed by that. They're happy for you. They want you to succeed, and they see how far you have come. So they're just happy for you, right? You uplift people and make them think, okay, if you can do that, you can overcome all that. I can overcome my problems because you did the impossible, okay? You did the impossible, so I should be able to do and solve my problems, right? So that's what people think. And to add on to this message here, with the 8 of Swords, that also talks about feeling limited or stuck in some way. So I think you help other people find out how they're not really that limited. Like, of course, they could have challenges, valid issues and concerns, of course, but you help people find a pathway out of an impossible situation. You help people realize their gifts. Maybe people sell themselves short when they're talking to you, like friends, family, and you're able to pinpoint to them exactly where they shine. And once they listen to you, they're starting to see, okay, I actually was not as bad off as I thought. I'm actually in a good place. I have, good finances, good relationships, whatever it is, right? You could help people see past their own negative mindset, right? Their own limitations, and you help give them so much. So you're definitely one of those people want to invite to a party because you're just going to uplift everyone, raise the vibe, raise the energy, and who doesn't want to be around someone like that? So I'm going to shuffle some more cards, but before I do, if you're still watching, make sure you like the video and hype the video if you enjoy this reading. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we have emotions are running high, supermoon, and conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. So I definitely think you guys have like this energy that other people can feel. So when you're happy, people are feeling happy from you. That's why they like to be around you, because you're so optimistic. I also feel here too, with emotions are running high, that makes me think of someone who is empathetic. So you guys could be like an empath in some way. You could be really concerned about other people, like always thinking about their wants, their needs, and trying to prepare for that ahead of time. Like if you are going on a road trip, you could be packing like extra toothbrushes in case your friends forgot to bring them, right? Like you could be thinking about other people in that way. Or you could be like packing an extra sandwich if someone is hungry and they don't have a lot of money and you give them that sandwich, right? So you have a lot of empathy. You're really a sensitive person, but you use this sensitivity to help other people. And I also think that's why you have to be positive, because if you were focusing on the negative things, you could be someone who you get too upset, right? You might not want to focus on that because it's too much for you because you're feeling those emotions so strongly. Another thing is with conclusions are within reach, you guys kind of have this mindset of, what's meant to be will be, and if it's not, whatever, right? Like that's how you're thinking. That's why you're so optimistic, because of that mindset. So people might really like how you don't dwell on something if it doesn't work out. You don't dwell on the past forever. You're just looking forward to the present, the future, and thinking, okay, how can I have a great time now? If I'm meant to have a good event happen, I'm meant to have a good event happen. If I'm having car troubles, oh well, maybe I'll have car troubles and then I'll meet a new friend who pulls over and helps me fix that car, right? That's kind of your mindset. You're always looking for what will go right instead of going wrong. So people also really like that. And with conclusion being brought up, I think you're also someone too who follows through on things. So instead of being like, oh yeah, I'll do that eventually, people can count on you because of what you say. Like if you promise something, you're going to do that. If you start something, you're going to finish that. So people also love that about you. Okay, then we have cowrie shells, passion, feminine power, and black walnut, discernment, self-worth. So it's funny because this card talks about feminine power, and then this one talks about discernment. So sometimes intuition is considered to be like, oh, like a feminine power, right? Of course, anyone can have that, but that's what it's usually tied in with, right? And I think of people talking about like how their mom or their grandmother just knows something, right? Like they just have that intuition, that ability to know, or they have like this weird paranormal experience. Even if it's someone who doesn't really believe in that, they'll still have that ability. So I feel like you guys are someone, you're seen as having some sort of intuitive ability. You could be psychic in some way. You could have a really strong sense of being able to trust your gut, right? Like you could have a bad feeling when you meet someone, even though they seem really kind, nice, and helpful. There's nothing wrong about them, right? Like everything's going well. You could just have that feeling that says, oh, don't trust this person. Don't trust this person. So people could love how you're really good at telling based on your feeling, like who you should be careful of, what situations are dangerous. You can just tell that with your intuition, your psychic powers, right? So people love that about you. Maybe you have helped a friend or a family member avoid something really bad because of your discernment. You could have warned someone and protected them. I also see here too, with self-worth, you really believe in yourself. So you're someone, you believe you always have value, right? Like you don't have to be perfect. You are doing good as is. So you don't have to be a millionaire to respect yourself. And that's great because a lot of people will judge themselves based on what society says is the best way to be or what is success. You don't do that. You see the success in everyone. You see the value in everyone. So people also love how you're really seeing good things in everyone and yourself. So you have a strong sense of self-worth. You love yourself. Once again, you love love. Okay, so that makes sense. You love yourself, and then you spread that love to other people, and you help them find what makes them great too, even if they don't initially see it, right? I also want to say too, with feminine power, some of you guys too, you could be like supportive of like women's rights or girls' rights, right? You could do something that helps like communities be protected. You could be an activist in some way, but people really see how you care about people and you try to get them to believe in their sense of self-worth. So people overall feel like you are like a good person. You're trying to do good things. So I'm going to pull some charms to close out the reading. Okay, so we have a heart once again. You're someone who attracts love too easily, I feel, because you're giving off such a good vibe, right? People want to be around that. So you could be someone who's easily approachable. With the spider, this makes me think of, once again, that like matriarch vibe. So you could be really caring and nurturing to other people. You could help people weave their own web, create their own destiny. We have a guitar. You guys could have a musical gift or talent people love. People could love your music taste, right? They could ask you for your playlist when you're in the car riding around. We have a tree. So a tree makes me think of like strong foundations, being stable, good roots. You could be really loved and cherished by your family members. I also think of this too as you're good at building community, building connections, making people feel like they're part of a family if they don't have one. Maybe you're someone's chosen family. We have a clip. This makes me think of like putting things together, hanging up laundry, cleaning things. So you could be good at like cleaning up, like you could help people clean up their life. You could help people get a fresh viewpoint, right? Without judgments. I also think too, this could just be like you're really organized or known for being clean. Then we have a wing. So a wing makes me think of someone who's expected to soar, who's expected to achieve. So people could think of you as someone like, it makes me think of a yearbook, like you're most likely to succeed. You're that person people vote for in that category. But yeah, that is what I see for your reading group number 2, Why People Love You. Like the video, hype it, subscribe. I hope this reading has helped you in some way. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose the pink tarot deck, Rose Quartz, and here we have the High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, and 2 of Swords. So the first thing I see here for why people love you is with the High Priestess, you could be someone who is really intelligent, right? You could be someone who has these deep insights into whatever situation people are bringing up to you, right? People are talking about certain things. You can just analyze any situation and bring up good points or good advice to help people solve their problems or succeed more. I also feel with the High Priestess, this talks about having intuitive abilities, psychic abilities. So you could be someone who's really good at pattern recognition and you can predict things before they happen. Maybe people joke around like you're my psychic friend or you're the psychic one in the group because you just know things. You could predict things before they happen, and you might be able to be someone that's hard to trick, right? Like people have trouble tricking you or lying to you. You have that ability just to know when someone's telling the truth or not, and that helps you and your friends. So people love that about you. I also see here with the Ace of Pentacles, with the High Priestess, that means you could be good at having luck. You could be lucky. So if you and someone are going to like gamble someplace, right? Like for some reason I think of like Las Vegas. If you're doing something like that, you could be someone who is more likely to win money. You're more likely to win like on scratch tickets. So if you and a group of people are doing that and you're agreeing to split the wins, right? You're going to split the wins and you're always winning. So like they want to bring you, right? You are a good luck charm when people are trying to win money or like win a raffle. You could be the person who's more likely to win or have your name called for something, right? Being chosen in an audition. So people like to be around you because you increase their luck as well. And also it could just be fun, right? Like you have that happen to you. So people now have a fun story to tell. So you also are entertaining, or you bring the entertainment with your group of friends or people who are around you. I also see too, I feel like you guys are good with money with the Ace of Pentacles. You could always have money, like even if you are broke in some way, you will always have money to spend on that trip, to spend a little bit more. You will always have money somehow. Even if you don't have a lot of money, you still have money. So you're really resourceful. And that's another thing I see, like you can just find enough of something that's required to be approved. I also see this too as you're really good at sensing out opportunities, right? So you know when something is going to be successful and you know when something is just not it, right? You know where to invest your time, how it's going to pay off, and you know what to walk away from and let just be a dream, right? Not everything's worth investing in. So because of that intuition, that pattern recognition, you're good at things that require luck, and you're good at sensing where to go before everyone else is there. You could be trendy before other people pick up on those trends. You are the trendsetter. So people also really like that about you. And I also see here with the 5 of Wands, this one's interesting to me. I think this could be people have like banter with you. You and someone can kind of go back and forth with jokes. It's not meant to be mean-spirited, but it's like you kind of make fun of each other in a funny way, right? Like you both are laughing about this. You're both joking around about this. So people might like how you're good at flirting, or with just friends, you have that banter where you make fun of each other, but you don't actually mean those things. You're just playing. So people like how you joke around or have like a sly sense of humor. You can take a joke, right? You're not too sensitive. I also see this too. People might like to have healthy competition with you. So you could be someone, people might like to challenge you, not in a negative way all the time. Okay? This is something where it's like you and your friend challenge each other to hit some sort of goal, right? To do something before a certain time period, before a certain deadline. So you could have healthy competition with people, and you and the other person, your friends, thrive off of it. It's not a negative thing. This is a positive thing, even though it kind of seems a little strange to hear that, but it feels like you're enjoying this. You like this. The other person does too. So people love how you can have this different dynamic because you're open to it, and you're not going to be like afraid of this or hurt by this. It's all in fun. The 2 of Swords makes me think of needing to make a choice, needing to decide. So I think you help people make the best choice. Once again, you have that infinite knowledge and wisdom here. You're really good at sensing things out. So you are definitely that friend people go to for advice to fix some of their problems. They're like, what do I do? I'm indecisive. You always seem to know the right thing. You can predict things. What do I do for this? Okay. So you sometimes might have to tell people, no, I can't help you. You have to figure this out on your own. You have to exercise your own intuition, because people say this or they inquire about this all the time and you get tired of it. You don't mind to help people, but because you have such strength in this area, you're so good at this, it can get overwhelming. So this card can also talk about being swamped with people, always wanting your advice, always wanting to pick your brain. So I'm going to shuffle some more cards. And if you're still watching so far, like the video, hype it to boost it to more viewers, and let's see what you get. Okay, with these cards here, we have you're very close to achieving your goal, gibbous moon, a new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra. So with this card, you are likely someone who is always reviewing your plans. So even if you're almost there, you're not afraid to make changes or adjust things. If someone gives you criticism, you don't take it so personally. You use that for your own benefit. You're like, okay, I'll change this because we're not done yet. I still have time to change things. Let me do that. It's going to help me. It's going to make things better. And when I finish that goal, I won't regret not changing that. I won't think about it afterward. So you are always adjusting things, tweaking things. Even if you're right there, you're almost done. You're not someone who's going to be like, okay, let's just do it to get it over with. You want it to be great. You want it to be good. And you're willing to put that effort in. So I feel like people like how you're so focused, you're willing to review things, and you don't let it hurt you. It's like you make it a benefit. You don't take the criticism negatively. You're just like, okay, now we have more work to do. Let's get it done. Let's do it. We're not going to just push it through and be lazy. We're going to make it the best it possibly can be. So people could really admire your ethic, your work ethic in this way. And with a new romantic cycle begins, Libra, this makes me think of beautifying things. You guys could be really beautiful yourself. People could love your beauty. They could love the way you look, the way you dress as well. For some of you, because I am feeling like witchy vibes from this pile, you could have like a style that's either like Gothic, whimsigoth too, with like moon, sun, stars, the fun patterns. You could be into that type of style or look for like even just furniture too, not just clothing you're wearing. There's different styles like that for just what's around in your environment. You could like witchy items, crystals, stuff like that. People could really like your aesthetics or your taste in things like that. Maybe they think it's really unique, creative. I also feel like people love how you get a lot of romantic attention, because with a new romantic cycle begins, it's like you're always having someone have romantic interest in you. Your friends or family could think it's funny to see people compete or fight over you, because you could always attract a lot of romantic attention. You could be someone too, like maybe you have certain like romantic goals or expectations to meet, and people like how you stick with that. You don't waver on that. So even if you have a lot of people like having interest in you, you don't just choose anyone to be with you. You have a certain set of standards that you want. People could really like how you respect yourself in that way, or you're like authentic, right? Like you don't just do things so people like you. People could just like you, but you don't care about that. You're doing what's best for you, not for the approval of other people. And we have blue moon, so that also talks about that witchy vibe, that romantic vibe as well with the blue moon, right? The moon makes me think of intuition, romance, all that good stuff as well. I think you guys have magic, because you could be witchy, but also magic as in like you could give people second chances. You could make it so you're making the best use of a second chance. So you give people second chances so they can have trust again, right? Like you help people see how they don't have to continue doing what they're doing if they had a bad past, right? And you help those people and you don't judge them based on their previous self, what they used to do or be. But I also see this too as when you're given a second chance, if you fail something or if you do something where it's like you're not happy with that, you like when people give you a second chance and you don't let them down, because you want to show how you are changing. You want to show how you are grateful or willing to improve. So not only do you do this for other people, when you get a second chance, you make the best of it, right? So something about this second chance is really important. So you could be making use of a second chance given to you, and people see how you have changed. They see how you have grown and really love that about you, because now they know anyone can turn their life around. But then on the other side of this, maybe only one of these situations will resonate with you guys watching, and that's okay. But on the other side of this, you could be giving people who have, I guess, like a bad past or have done bad things, a chance to turn around and show you and show other people that, hey, I did change. I just need a chance to try again, right? So people also love how you're non-judgmental and you're willing to give people a chance to prove themselves if they have failed one time. I also see with instrument, this talks about self-expression, speaking truth. So yeah, the way you express yourself, the way you look, your fashion, people really love it. Okay. I also see this too. If you have any musical talent or skill, people might like your voice. They might like the way you play the instruments. Please keep playing music if you do this. People really like this. You could be doing a unique sound, doing something different here compared to other people making music. I also see too your voice, people really like. So outside of music, just talking, just speaking, something about your voice could be really unique. So some people have really high voices, or the way they talk, they have a certain accent that's noticeable, or they have a really deep voice. Whatever it is about your voice, people love it. Okay, people love how you have a unique voice and not just a literal voice, okay? People also like how you have a voice, as in you have a backbone. You speak up, you say what you mean, and you don't filter yourself. So people love that. Once again, authenticity. I think I mentioned that earlier. If I didn't, yes, authenticity. You are really you, and it makes it easier to interact with you because there's not some fake show going on. You're just real, and it makes it easy to talk to you. So I'm going to pull some charms and get a closing out message for you guys. Okay, so we have a tree of life, I believe, or a tree here. So you guys are always growing things, always nurturing things. People might feel like you take them under your wing. You could look out for people, protect them in some way. Then we have a heart. People could feel really loved by you. I also feel like with heart, people might notice how you have passion for things you really enjoy. People could like to watch you when you're doing something that makes you feel happy. So people might like to look at your facial expressions and see how you're happy, like playing music, or you're happy interacting with your friends. People really like the way you show how you are happy. Then we have a mouse. That makes me think of that opportunity, or like always finding something, kind of like how a mouse will look for cheese or something to eat, right? You guys are able to like maneuver difficult situations and find something really good. You're able to do the impossible, right? Like you could be someone, you go in a thrift shop and you're able to find like $300 items, right? They're priced only for $3 because you have that special knowledge or that feeling like, oh, this is really worth something. Let me buy this. Like you can find a lot of value for little with your skills. Then we have a cat. Cat and mouse makes me think of like Tom and Jerry. And then that playful banter. So you and unlikely people can be friends. That's another thing I'm seeing here. You and someone who appear to have opposite nature can get along. So people might like how you could be someone, let's say like you have a Gothic aesthetic, or you just like things that match that style, that vibe, but then you'll be friends with people or a person who's really preppy and is completely different from you, right? So people might like how you're not someone who's cliquish. You can talk to anyone, even if they're completely opposite from your lifestyle or your look, your way of being. And then we have the star, full of hope, cleansing. So you can cleanse people, right? Make them feel refreshed. You're refreshing because you're not a stereotype. You're not cliche. You're different and unique, but not in a way that's isolating or opposing. You're different and unique in a refreshing way. Like you're like lemonade. When people sip that drink, they're like, ah, like this is really nice to talk to someone like you. Or you give those people that second chance and they feel like, wow, I'm not being judged. So people really love how you're really open and accepting, but you also don't take nonsense either. If someone does something to you, you won't handle that. You'll say bye, but you give people who really deserve it a second chance. So that is what I see here for you guys. Group number 3. I hope you liked it. Like the video, hype it, subscribe. I hope this reading has helped you in some way. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.